Hey guys, Newbie here, and today I wanted to do a video just using the script builder in the GamePRo app, and we're going to have a go at building some software to try and find a shiny Snorlax in FireRed version. So first thing, I am on version 1.5 of the app here. I have been sort of making regular updates. If you're on one of the later versions of the app, it will come up with a yellow banner up here. There's a newer version available. So just keep an eye out for that. But the first thing we need to do is just make sure we're on the right COM port. And then also we'll just turn on the webcam, turn on the preview, and my switch has gone to sleep, so we'll just wake that up. There we go. So I've saved the game just here in front of the Snorlax, and what I'm going to do is go to the script builder, and that will open a new window, and we're building a script for the Switch 2. So what we're basically going to do is we're going to use this record function, and we're just going to basically record just manually pressing through these buttons. And then we can add in, we're going to add in this detection here just for a little bit of color detection. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start off with, I'll hit start record. You'll see there's this four corner screen calibration thing. Just like it's best just to leave that on. That's just so that you can set up the screen calibration at the start when the script runs, and I'll show you how that feature sort of works a little bit later. But if I just go start recording, and then I can just press the buttons that I want to use, and you'll see them starting to show up in here. We just got to wait while the poker flute is played. There we go. All right, and at that point we can stop the recording. So just one thing that's probably a little bug that maybe I need to fix, but you'll see that last A press, so they've each got their the times against them, but that one doesn't have any wait time against it because there was nothing else that happened after that press. So what you can do is you can come down here, and that probably needs to be about 6 seconds to give enough time for the Snorlax to be on screen. So I'll just go apply changes, and then the next thing I want to do is do a color detection, which we'll just add. And so it gives me the option to basically choose where the pixels are. So I'm just going to use this bit on the Snorlax there. And the other thing that we can do is we can go like just use this compare shiny image feature. Which I should be able to do now. And so that just gives you the ability of I can just go load shiny image. And if I just find where I've got one sitting, shiny images, here we go. So this will load an image of an actual shiny. So actually, spoiler alert, I found this one while I was mucking around with some software, and then I accidentally killed it. So yeah, I've got to do that all again. But anyway, you'll see that that's not sitting exactly on the same pixels as there because this one is on a calibrated screen. So I can just draw on here the pixels that I want to compare to. So it's now comparing these two sets of pixels, and you can actually see the results down here. So this one that's jumping around all over the show, so that's the average of these values. The reason it's moving is because that's actually taking live frames from the webcam, so it's changing a small amount. But you can see it's pretty consistent. Sorry, I was actually reading the wrong line. That's the difference between this reading and this one. This is the actual readings up here. So it's reading about 105 for the blue value, whereas if we look at this one over here, that's reading 167 for the average blue pixel value in here. So our tolerance, and you can adjust this, is set to 25, and so this is telling you that it would detect that difference, which is what we want, because this one here in particular is greater than the 25, the change in the blue value. If that's quite tight, you might want to adjust the tolerance down, but if it's well over like this is, then 25 is fine. There are different types of detections you can do. This is just using the average value of those pixels. You can do a pixel count for a a certain number of pixels that are a different color, or you can do like a target a color, so it's pixels, a certain number of pixels of a particular color. But yeah, I'll probably do some later videos with those. But that's everything that I want for now. So we can apply that to the step, and that's our color detection in here. And so that's the first part of the program. The next bit I want to do is actually want to add another block. So that's one is block 1. Now I'm going to add another block here, and I'm actually going to start recording again because I need to do another button sequence. So if I go start recording, I now want to do the soft reset. So home, X, A to close, and then we'll go through the menu loading it up again. For some reason it shows that little detection panel there. That's another little bug that I've been trying to work out. But press A again, and once more, and A to continue, and then press B, and then stop recording. So that's the full loop completed. So again, just that little bug that I'd probably need to fix, but that last one has come up with 0 seconds again, so that probably needs to be maybe 3.5 seconds or something, just for that, maybe 3 seconds. You can adjust all of these at any time, and you can save what you've done and come back and work on it again later. But I'm going to apply that that weight. And so you can go through and you can edit any one of these individual button presses, or you can do this if you want to adjust the timing on all of them. Sometimes when you're trying to react, when you're building this and you're pressing the buttons, you might press a wrong button, or you might take too long to press it, and you can adjust it. A good example was when I was too busy talking about that square that was on the screen. This one probably ended up a little bit too long. Oops. So we can adjust that probably down to, I'm going to adjust it down to maybe 9.5 seconds or thereabouts. And then the other thing I'm going to do to that step is I'm going to add this plus random. And so that just adds a, where is it gone? Just here. It adds just a random delay just during that soft reset part of the screen. And the reason that I've put that in there is because that's actually, that timing is what is used as the seed for the RNG. And we're not trying to do any manipulation or anything, but just to make sure we get a clean random seed every time for that RNG, I just put in a random number there. So that should be all of our steps. So we can now go up here and go test steps and just let it run through and see if it presses all the right buttons at all the right times, which so far it is. We just have to wait for the poker flute to be played again. So again, there's probably like an extra second you could try and gain by tightening up some of these delays here and there. There we go, did that detection fine. And we'll run through this this menu again. So they all seem to be working okay. So this is the one I adjusted down to 9 seconds plus that random delay. And that seems like it's plenty. It could even be adjusted down further potentially. There we go, and we're back to there. Okay, so that seemed to have run through fine. So again, I do recommend saving this just so that you can come back and edit it in here if you need to. And then you've got these two options. You can either copy an AI prompt or build the script directly. This one is useful if you're using like ChatGPT or Claude or something like that. You want to give your AI a full prompt to basically add all of these steps. And then produce just a Python script. If you're doing a more complex program, you might want to do that so that you can then do more prompts to change and improve it. But for a simple one like this, we can just go build script, and then we can just save it under, we'll just save it in here for now. I've already got one in here. I'm just going to save over that. Cool. And that's done. So then what I'm going to do is jump back in here and run this. This is where the script is sitting in here. Just one thing that I forgot to mention before we run the script. In the script builder, there's this fixed region, use builder settings, no user setup. If you check that, then the user of the script won't have the option to select the pixels for detection. It'll just be built into the software. But if you leave it unchecked, then on the first encounter, the user will be able to choose what pixels they want to target for the software when it runs. I'll show you that when we launch it soon. So we left that unchecked when we built our script. So if we just run this script now, and so the first thing we get to do is the screen calibration. And you'll see this it crops the screen and it corrects for if there's any rotation or anything like that on the screen, which is quite handy. And then we can just let the script run and see if it is doing what we want it to do. So far so good. And we didn't find a shiny on the first one. So see how this says draw a box around the area to watch for changes. If we had have checked that box, then it would have just been built in and it would have automatically selected that area. But since we left it unchecked, we can choose this area. It's still going to use the pixel. Well, it's still going to use the tolerance value of 25 that we built in, and it's basically going to use this as our baseline and then wait until it sees at least one of the RGB values have 25 points difference compared to these standard values here. So which we already saw from the shiny image when we were looking before. It's this blue value in particular that will go up quite a bit higher for the actual shiny encounter. It should go up to sort of 160, 170, something like that. So I'm just going to let this run through one more full cycle and we'll see if it is doing what it should. So when it goes through to the next encounter, it shouldn't be asking for that setup anymore. It should just automatically be looking at that target area of pixels. So we shall see if that is doing what it should be doing. Alright, so it's pretty much gone through a full cycle now into another encounter, and we'll just check that it does this bit alright. Yep. And so these are the values down here, which obviously it's only that small. This is the delta or the difference, which is only like 0.5 difference, and it needs to get up to 25. So this will also tell you like how many attempts that we've done as well. So that was counted, that one as the first attempt, and the previous one is like just the baseline. Yeah, that seems to be working okay. So I do actually have a version of the Snorlax software available for you guys to run, but the main point of this was just to show you how to use the script builder to use your own scripts. And we do actually have, I saw on the Facebook page, one of the users has already built their own script and managed to find a shiny Dratini from the game corner, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, it's a pretty cool little feature. I'll be adding changes and features to it sort of all the time, so just keep an eye out for different version numbers of the software coming out. And also I will try and make a few more of these videos just to sort of show a bit more how to use it. But yeah, if you've got any questions, just feel free to reach out as well. But until next time, see ya.